Well, hello, everybody. Looks like we've got a few people in chat already, and looks like five watching, and I think I've got 3 people in chat. How's everybody doing this Saturday? I'm gonna have to get my cough drops. I've been outside doing stuff, so I've been breathing that air again. Plus, I cleaned out my shed yesterday, and I kept telling myself, you need to go get a mask. You need to go get a mask. Well, guess what? I did not go get a mask, and I've been paying for it ever since. I know I don't need to be breathing this air, but I don't want to spend my life wearing a mask. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I guess I'm hoping by not wearing a mask, well, I'm breathing all of the stuff I'm allergic to. And sooner or later, it'll kick in my resistance to the allergy, and maybe the allergy will go away. I don't really think that's going to happen, but I can't, I hope for it. I'm doing great, Jessica. I'm glad you're doing okay. Jessica Clark from North Carolina. Well, welcome, Jessica. I'm originally from North Carolina myself. A little town inland from Wilmington. It's called Atkinson, a little farm town. That's where my dad was born and raised. That's where I was born and partially raised. My mom was from New York, so I did live part of my young childhood in New York City. My dad didn't like it up there, though. And there's Joshua. Hello, Joshua. Frida. Paula. Tamara Aimling. Hello. You watch me all the time. Okay. I wasn't sure how new you were. I thought I'd seen your name before in chat. I tell you, I've been enjoying this weather we've got here in Texas. It was 82 yesterday. It's going to be basically 77, 79 today. And every day this week, it's going to be around 80 or higher. It's like 45, 46 at the low at night. So we don't even have freezing temperatures at night. And it's going to be that way for about a week. I think Tuesday it's going to cool off a little bit, but it's still going to be in the high 70s or mid 70s. So I'm not complaining. But then right after that, it's going to warm back up in the 80s during the day. So I want to get some seeds started, y'all. Especially my big old tomatoes, those big beefsteak tomatoes and big boys and the big slicing tomatoes. Because I have no trouble with the grape and the cherry tomatoes. They grow all summer long, even in the heat. But those big slicing tomatoes and the beefsteaks, once it starts getting really hot weather out here, they suffer and they quit producing tomatoes until the end of the summer when it cools off again, and then they'll start producing a few. But I want to get a lot of those type started this year. And I hope I can get them started from seed rather than wait till Walmart gets them and then I buy them from Walmart. Because then you can only buy 1 or 2 because they're so expensive. They're like $5 or more for one plant now. You're from Hickory. That's close to where my ex-husband is from. So you're familiar with the Vale area, Vale? That's where his parents lived. They had a farm, and his dad was a principal of 2 different schools there. His mom worked in one of the cafeterias at the school. But he was born and raised in Vale, North Carolina. About 300 to 400 miles from my hometown, which was way over on the East Coast, close to the beaches. I know I like this kind of weather, but when I get out there and start doing something in the garden, I start sweating. And that's the part I don't like. But hey, sweating's good for your body, right? After I cleaned out my shed yesterday, I spent 3 or 4 hours doing it. Finally, when I got everything all wrapped up, I came in the house, changed, got out there in my sauna, and I sat in my sauna for about 40 minutes and just relaxed. And then come in and took a good shower, and oh, I felt so much better after that because I was dirty. Oh my God, I couldn't believe there was so much dust and grime and crap in my shed from all the wind blowing out here, and it gets in the shed, covers everything. Yeah, you're familiar with the area. I figured you would. If you've been living there very long, some of your family may know my ex-husband's parents. They're dead and gone now, and they've been passed away several years. But they were very much alive when we first came to Texas. His dad was Eli Hauser, and like I said, he was a principal of 2 different schools in the Vale area. I don't know which schools it was. But some of the kids, or some of the people that were in school during that time, or the parents will probably remember him. And there's Donna Placetia. Hello, Donna. It's always nice to chat with somebody else from North Carolina. Although, they say I sound like a Texan because the Texas accent is so familiar and similar to people in North Carolina where I'm from. Oh, okay. So some of your family may be familiar with the Hauser family from Vale, since his dad was the principal there. And I'm sure a lot of the kids are familiar with his mother, since she worked in the cafeteria. It's just something she liked to do. Yeah, a friend of mine, I talked to him on the phone, and he said the day before yesterday, I think it was, that in Wallace, where he lived, and it's only like 20 minutes from my hometown, they were buried in snow. Because he actually lives in Texas, Lake Jackson, right down on the coast of Texas. And he bought a house right across the street from his brother and his wife in Wallace. So he goes there like once a year on vacation, and he intends to move there permanently and sell the house in Lake Jackson. But he said, I'm not sure I made the right decision because it's cold here. I told him on the phone last night, I said, well, it was 82 degrees today. I was out wearing my shorts and sweating, cleaning my shed out. How did my parents meet? My dad was in the Navy, and he was stationed on the U.S. North Carolina battleship. And when he was in port in New York City, the guys would get leave so they could go into town and party and hit bars or do whatever partying they wanted to do on their leave time. And that's how he met my mom. Somehow he met my mom when he was on leave, when they were docked in New York. And she said she's even been on the battleship and ate with my dad on the battleship in their cafeteria. It was quite an experience. And my dad, when he was alive, he would tell me stories, and he said, I could probably take you to places on that battleship right now, even though they turned it into a museum, where we hid whiskey. He said we'd bring bottles of whiskey on the ship and hide them in places that they would never dream to look for them. And he said, I bet I could go on that ship today and find a bottle. Of course, he wouldn't tell you where they were. But he's gone now, so we'll never find out where those bottles were hid. Yeah, it was something. He joined the Navy right after he graduated high school because his parents owned a big farm. That was their way of life. That was their living. And they raised cows, horses, chickens, hogs, you name it. They grew tobacco. They had big gardens, vegetable gardens. And everything they consumed basically came from the farm. The only thing I ever remember my grandmother buying from the store was coffee and sugar because they ground their own flour from the corn and everything right there, you know. I remember when they butcher hogs once a year, and it was cooler weather by the time they did that. And my grandmother had what I call a witch's pot, you know, one of those great big cast iron black pots that sit on those claw feet that they put in the backyard. And when they butchered hogs, they cut off all the fat and threw it in that pot and cooked it till the fat was fried and it was floating at the top. And that was your cracklings or pork rinds, you know. And that was good when it come right out of that hot grease and they put it out on the table. Take a salt shaker and salt it down and you could eat it while it was still warm. Oh, they were so good. And my grandmother loved the cracklings because she liked to put them in cornbread and stuff. They had their own smokehouse where they smoked their own bacon, their hams. They made their own sausage. They got their milk from their dairy cows. I never knew them to butcher a cow, though. They only had just a handful of cows, and that was their milk cows. So, you know, actually there was only like maybe 2 cows, I think, that I remember. They had several horses and a whole pig lot full of hogs. Yeah, there's a lot of memories from that farm when I go visit my grandmother. And part of the time in the summer when we weren't in school, you know, I got to actually stay with my grandmother. Because when we moved from New York back to North Carolina, it was the same hometown my dad was born and raised in. So their farm was just outside of town. So about 3 miles outside. And you could just walk from town right to where their farm was. Yeah, they made their own lard. My grandmother had 5-gallon aluminum lard stands, as we called them. And that's what they stored the fat from the pigs, the hogs, in that 5-gallon container. And that was her lard. That's what she used for frying chicken. She used it for making her homemade biscuits. She used that in everything she needed cooking oil for. And I'll tell you what, she made some of the best homemade biscuits you've ever eaten. I said, they were McDonald's biscuits. I guarantee you. I said, McDonald's stole my grandmother's homemade biscuit recipe. Hey, Anthony, how are you doing? I'm doing great. That's the first thing I said the first time I ever went to McDonald's and got a biscuit, a sausage biscuit. I said, oh my God, this is my grandmama's biscuit. And my grandmother used to fry eggs in the morning. When sometimes I stayed with her when I was even in school because I could catch the bus to go into town into school from her house. She'd make me a fried egg sandwich with one of those biscuits. Oh, I didn't fuss about it a bit. It was so good. It was just like McDonald's. I mean, hey. And sometimes she put a slice of cheese on it. And I said, that's where McDonald's got their biscuit sandwiches for the breakfast menu. And their sausage, oh my God, they had the best sausage. I love that sausage. The ground sausage. And the closest sausage I found to that is Great Value sausage in the 1-pound rolls, the ground sausage at Walmart. That is the closest I've come to finding the sausage they made. Oh no, Anthony, your head hurts. I'm sorry. You thought they were stealing from your grandma at a Hardee's? Well, see, there wasn't a Hardee's in North Carolina when I was growing up. They didn't come along, I don't think, around there until I moved to Texas, or I moved away from home because I got married and I was away from home for 10 years, got divorced, remarried, and then ended up in Texas. And there was no Hardee's anywhere around my hometown or the towns next to it, close to it. Hardee's. I mean, you never heard of Hardee's. So I don't know what year they came to be in that area, but they weren't there when I was growing up. You didn't have the option of getting Hardee's, McDonald's, Burger King, because there was not any. They were non-existent. We don't have a Hardee's here. But I know my sister-in-law goes to Hardee's all the time, with her son. But I always loved to get McDonald's biscuit. And now, since they're working on the highway going to the overpass on 377, they tore McDonald's down. Burger King building is still there. So I don't know if Burger King will be able to reopen later on when they finish all the construction on the highway in front of it. But McDonald's is gone. It's just an empty lot they've leveled off right now. And that was my favorite place to go to pick up a quick burger. I'd order off of their usually their dollar menu, and then they had the family meal, I think. I'd order that from their app and then go pick it up. I can't do that now. If I order from McDonald's, I got to go all the way across town on the other side. And I did it one time. I went over there. I ordered the $5 family meal with the apple pie. I got home. Everything was ice cold and no pie. And I said, well, I'm not going all the way back out there to pick up a pie. It's too far to go. And that's the one and only time I went out there, and I'm never going again. Unless I'm out there shopping and I'm there anyway, and I stop and go in and eat. Maybe I will. But I doubt it even then. And I've heard several people say that they didn't like the service from that particular McDonald's. But I tell you what, the McDonald's out here on my highway, that was the best place you could go. They never got my orders wrong. And I always had what I ordered, you know. Hardee's is the only fast food burger place we have in my county, and it's still 30 miles away. Oh, no. Well, I've got so many fast food places, you know. There's still places to get burgers, but they're not Burger King and it's not McDonald's, because they were right side by side one another out there. Just as you go down to go on the ramp to enter 377 interstate, but they're widening the road there. So in order to do that, they did away with McDonald's completely. I guess they're going to put in a new on-ramp on that side. But I said I didn't like it. They needed to just move McDonald's somewhere on the same highway, put another one up, but they haven't yet anyway. Yeah, it'd be nice if we do get it back. But we'll see. And then if they build it back, it may not be the same people working there, and it might not be as nice as and friendly as it used to be. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell, right? Time will tell. That's exactly right, Jesse. These kids don't care if they work or not. They don't care if the order's right when they give it to you. They could care less as long as they get paid. I mean, we have a lot of other places to eat right here on the same highway. I mean, there's a Pizza Hut. There's oh, what is the name of that place? I think it might be Jack in the Box. There's several Mexican restaurants there. Um, there's like another. There used to be a CC's Pizza there too. I think I'm not sure if it's still there. They've got a um, Slosky's or whatever. I don't pronounce it right, I know, but yeah. And if I go further down on 377 and get off of the highway that comes down to my house, there's Domino's Pizza. There's another pizza place where it's all buffet, all you can eat. Um, yeah, and there's so many barbecue places, it's unreal. They're everywhere. There's Stumpy's right here, and that's a seafood place right on the water. And there's another burger place on 377 that's real good, and it looks like a shack. I can't remember the name of it. Um, Trying to think of some other names. We used to have a Long John Silver's, but that closed and moved out. I said, I can't imagine why that closed. I said that they had good food. I loved going to Long John Silver, but I love fish and shrimp too. So, and they said, oh, well, they said it was making people fat. It's like, what? And all these other restaurants are not making people fat. We got Linda 3853. Hello. We got DJSPIN something. Welcome, whoever you are. Hot Mom Carpool, welcome. This is your friend that changed her channel name. Okay, well, what friend changed their channel name? I've got several that's changed their channels. And they didn't put their name in the name of the channel again, so you don't know who it is. Uncle BB's here in the house. Jessica Lark. Connie Hawkins. I don't know what that DJ's Pinbad. That's how I could pronounce it if I tried to break it into words. Got Frida Cassidy in the house. I hope y'all been watching videos this week. I mean, this is not too difficult. You only had 7 days to watch, from the last live I had. I went ahead and posted the thumbnail for this live, telling everybody to watch videos, answer questions, and win a prize today. So that wasn't too many videos to have to watch. Yes, I remember Edith. I sure do, Edith. I will not forget you. You had Long John's where you're at in 1980, Uncle BB? Yeah, we had one here up till maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it closed and moved. We had an Arby's. It closed and moved. We've got Italian restaurants here now. But my favorite is Long John Silver's. But they don't have them here. You have to go to Fort Worth to go to not Long John Silver's. Well, I like Olive Garden, and Red Lobster is what I was trying to think of. Red Lobster. But they don't have them here in Granbury. You got to go to Fort Worth to the closest one. Olive Garden has really good lunch specials, like you get their soup and salad, And I'll tell you, by the time I eat the salad, I can't eat the soup. I'm full. And some people go there and get soup and salad, and then they order dinner. I said, how do they eat all that? Yeah, we had a Captain D's. It's gone now too. Feel good cooking more. Yeah, I was just going to say you must be new because I don't remember seeing your name. But welcome to our channel. We always love new members, new subscribers, that is, to our channel. SWTNSNTN, whoever you are, welcome. It's just all letters. You can't pronounce a word out of that. I don't know. Captain D's isn't any good anymore. Well, yeah, it's been many, many years since I went to a Captain D's. But I used to go to Long John Silver's when it was here quite often, not all the time, but like every other month or so, I'd run in there and get me a fish plate, a fish and shrimp plate, and most of the time sit down inside and eat it. And I missed it after they closed up and left. I said, well, my fish place left because they had very affordable prices, you know. The guy in the pen threw himself into the deep fryer at Olive Garden. Are you kidding me? Uncle BB, where did that come from? Really? Did that really happen? A guy in Pennsylvania threw himself into the deep fryer at Olive Garden. That must have been an awfully big deep fryer. I'm going to have to do research on that. I hadn't heard about that. That's all new to me. Yes. Well, we've got a few more minutes and we'll start asking questions. It was head first. Oh my God. I'm sure it killed him, right? I don't think anybody could survive that. How big was that deep fryer? Good gracious, to get a whole person in there, it's got to be big. When did that happen? Not long ago? It was really deep. He was a chef there, and oh my God, that's some way to commit suicide. Yesterday, oh my gosh. Golly. I've heard of people committing suicide in so many different strange ways. That's the first time I've ever heard of anybody throwing themselves in the deep fryer. He was going off the deep end, right? Right into the deep fryer. Oh my God, I know that's not funny, but I'm looking it up. See what comes up. Oh, it said Olive Garden cook commits suicide by dunking head into deep fryer. Cook has died after he dunked his own head into a searing hot deep fryer. As his co-workers frantically tried to thwart his gruesome suicide. So it wasn't that big. It was big enough to put his head in it, but he didn't get his whole body in it. I can't imagine how he even managed to get his head in it. That was some hot grease, y'all. Ooh. Olive Garden. I was trying to bring up a 911 call from there. Earned suicide. Disturbing 911 audio emerges. Man went headfirst into fryers. But I don't think they play it on there. I mean, you can't listen to it. Good gracious. I mean, I couldn't get close enough to that heat to get my head in that fryer. I don't know about anybody in chat. Well, if he managed to get his whole head in there, you know, he couldn't breathe. He burned his whole head burnt. He fried his own head. And he wouldn't have been able to get his head out. I don't see how he ever got it in there. Really hope they replaced the fryers. I would not want to eat any fried fish out of that fryer after he did that. Oh, you have allergies, Edith, you too? Yeah, that's gruesome. I mean, I couldn't, because you feel the heat from that grease and you get your head real close, and I would be jerking back because just the heat is enough to burn your face. I don't see how he managed to do it. I couldn't have got close enough fast enough to dunk my head in that hot grease. Because when you start burning your face, your natural instinct is to jerk back. How did he manage to get his head in there? I don't know. They said he stripped down naked beforehand. Oh my God. Why bother to strip? I mean, only his head's going to go in the fryer. Oh my goodness. That was terrible for him to be in such a state that he was able to do that, you know? It's 75 degrees right now, and I'm in my shorts. Yeah, I feel sorry for that man. I feel sorry for his family. I can't imagine what frame of mind he was in, or what kind of depression he was going through, or what kind of problems he may have had that caused him to do that. Yeah, sounds like a mental problem, but goodness gracious. No, he's not hurting now. Uncle BB said I made a scratch apple pie. Well, how do you make a scratch? Well, unless you just make it from apples, right? Is that what you mean, Uncle BB? You made it from scratch? That's what I call making it from the ingredients you put in it yourself. It's 35 degrees here today. That's where SWTNSNTN is, wherever that is, and whoever that is. Y'all need to put names there of some kind so people can recognize it, not just a bunch of letters. Yeppers, yepper, yepper. Yeah, it's a sad way to go. I can't imagine his family. I mean, you know, he had family somewhere. And I would hate to be any of the people working in that kitchen when it happened. Sweetness in Tennessee. Normally I enter in as Mrs. Meyer too, North Tennessee. What brought you to change your name? Another subscriber of mine, she changed the name of her channel. Ashley, she changed it to Gladiola something. No part of her name is in it, so you wouldn't know it was her channel. I don't change name. I know, but if your name is not connected with the title, it's not going to come up when people enter your name. Hers didn't. It's Gladiola something. I don't know if she did it purposely because she didn't want people to know who she was. You know, she wanted her channel to be basically anonymous unless they went into the profile and stuff. And then she's got the option of not putting her real name in there. So I don't know. Well, I wanted people to know who I was. I didn't want to hide myself. I said I don't hide anything in my videos, and I'm not going to hide anything about who's producing them. So Uncle BB said he was sick of all you could eat pasta. Oh my goodness. I cannot imagine though somebody doing that. I wonder how old he was. How old a man he was. You know, he could have had life problems, family problems, who knows? Sometimes it enters one way and other times it pops up correct. Yes, it was under this before. I don't know. I don't know either. Because I've always told people, I said, my channel's under my name. To bring my channel up, all you got to do is put my name in the search bar. I said, it's Linda House, Lady in the Garden. But if you put my name in there, it's coming up. And I said, it'll have my profile picture up in the very first thing that comes up. And there's Eddie Elliott. Hello. Lupe. Hello. Mine too. Guadalupe is my name, Linda. I'm your fan and I love your channel. Well, thank you, Lupe. Guadalupe. I think I say that correctly. Are y'all ready for some questions? There's Eddie. Eddie Ella, a black slave. Are y'all all ready for some questions? I don't see anybody responding. I told Linda about my iPad I have, Jessica. Yeah, he told me all about that. Yes. Tamara says, yes, I'm ready. All right, y'all, first question. There was an accident in one of the videos that I did early on in the week. Can anybody tell me what that accident was? My cat's name is Lucky. In one of my videos, in some of the ingredients in that video, I had an accident with them. What was it? Y'all should know if you saw the video. Because I didn't cut that part out. I said, that'll be a good question. Nobody knows. Well, thank you, Eddie. Nobody can tell me what the accident was. I got several comments on that video that people sent me. So you didn't watch the video, I guess. It was the cowboy cookie video. All right, Feel Good, Cook More. Glad you could stop by. You don't remember the ingredients for the cookies? I wish you could too, Joshua. Y'all should remember that if you watch the video at all. And something did fall on the floor. It fell in a lot of places other than on the floor. But y'all got to tell me what it was. Tamara Amelin got it. Was Rice Krispies. So she's got one right. Remember, I went to put that cup of Rice Krispies in the bowl, and somehow it slipped. And it was probably because of my arthritis in my hand. I don't make a really good grip with these fingers. And it slipped and it hit the bowl. And a lot of the Rice Krispies went over toward me on the counter and in the floor. And I was stepping on them for a little bit there till I just finally decided to stop the video and get the Krispies swept up so I didn't have to keep stepping on them. Snap, crackle, and pop. Way to go, Tamara. Okay, number 2 question. Can anybody tell me what I made in the waffle iron video? What did I make in the waffle iron video that I did? Potato waffles. There you go. That's 2 for Tamara Ameling. She got potato waffles. That's what I made. And Joshua come in second, but Tamara beat him to it. I made potato waffles is what I made in there. All right, number 3. What 2 things did I plant in the new raised beds? Remember the new trellis I got? I planted something in each side of it. What was it? That was one thing I planted. I need 2. What was the other thing that I planted? I planted a raspberry and a blackberry bush in one end. What did I plant in the other end? Paradise. Yeah, I planted a raspberry and a blackberry bush in one end of it. What did I plant in the other end? other times said weed. No, I didn't plant weed in any of my garden. Tamara Amelin got it, grapevine. So she got them both. She said raspberry and blackberry and then grapevine. Yeah, I planted two different grapevines, the black one and the green one, whatever they call them, or the dark colored grape and then the light green one. I planted that in the front side facing the house, and in the back side I planted a blackberry and a raspberry bush. I just hope they live. Y'all, Tamara is going to get this thing. Okay, what kind of rice recipe did I cook in my video this week? My brother had the best luck with grapes. Oh my God. He built a big trellis and planted grapes at each corner. They overtook that big, I don't know what they call them. It was like a 10 by 10 foot top with posts on it. They just grew all over it. It was completely shaded across the top by grapevines. Well, it was black beans with sausage, but what else went with that sausage and beans? You don't usually call it black beans and sausage. Now she's got with Spanish rice, so that's close enough. It was black beans and rice, but it did have sausage in it. So it looks like Tamara got the points for this one too. Y'all, I can't believe you're letting Tamara win. It was brown rice, but Tamara already got it. All she had to do was say rice. So that was all the questions I had was 4, and Tamara got all 4 of them. I figured it was only a week, so you didn't have to answer 30 questions out of, 7 videos, basically, or 6. And there's Sheila Robertson. Hello, Sheila. Welcome. And the prize is one of the Betty Boot Valentine plaques. You got your choice, Tamara. Which one do you want? You want this one? Or number 2, this one? 1 or 2? See which one she says, 1 or 2. This one's 1. This one's number 2. Linda at 18. Yeah, don't I wish. So she can decide which one she wants. Surprise Donna P, you decide. I don't understand that. You're letting Donna P decide, or you're going, I don't know. Are you saying give it to Donna Placedia and me decide what to send, which one to send? I don't understand. Linda, you decide and send it to Donna. Oh, okay. That's what I thought you meant. I wasn't sure. Okay, well, I'm not going to let her see which one I decide to send her. It'll be a surprise when she gets it then. I'm going to write it down, Donna. Donna P. Donna Placidia. And hopefully if I get it in the mail Monday, she'll get it before Valentine's Day. That'll be her Valentine's. I'm missing somebody today. Gladys is not here. Where's Gladys? Have any of you heard from Gladys? So what are y'all's plans for this weekend? Anybody got anything exciting planned for the rest of today or tomorrow? Yeah, that's unusual. Usually she pops in. Maybe she's sleeping. She's with Pete. Is that her new Indian? Joshua says, "Are you a tech nerd to Tamara?" What do you mean? Am I a tech nerd to Aunt Tamara? I mean, evidently she watches more videos than a lot of people that come into live because she's always answering the questions. Her or Jana or some of them. I haven't seen Jana today either. She's having her annual Super Bowl party. Is that today or tomorrow? I thought all Super Bowl parties were on Sunday. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't watch them most of the games, so I used to watch them all the time. I haven't in the last few years. I pretty much gotten away from football. I do like the halftime shows though, especially if it's the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's what I thought. Super Bowl's tomorrow on Sundays. When is the Super Bowl? Do we even have a Super Bowl? Tomorrow's Super Bowl. Okay. Well, she has no excuse. She should be here today. Today's not Super Bowl. This is not Super Bowl Sunday. Comes on Sunday night. Yeah, they usually start, what is it, about 5 o'clock? It seemed like most of the games I've watched on Sundays, the football games started about 5. Patriots and Seahawks. There goes my phone. Hope they find Mrs. Guthrie. Yeah, I was hearing about that. I haven't paid too much attention or haven't taken the time to really read about it all or listen to all of their interviews over it. So I didn't really know what was going on. I just know it was an 85-year-old lady that was kidnapped. Why would anybody want to kidnap an 85-year-old woman unless she was filthy rich and there was a big ransom? Because they did say there was a ransom note or something, and then they said no, that wasn't official. It wasn't really a ransom note or something. I have no idea. I don't know the details on it, so. Do any of y'all know the details on that Guthrie kidnapping? Her daughter's rich. Okay, so maybe they figured they could get a lot of money out of her daughter to get her mom back. I tell you, people, they stoop to anything today. I tell you. You think we live back in the Wild West days? We got all this land stealing going on even today, you know. There's only one property pin on my 3 lots that I know pretty much where it's at, and I know that that's in the original property pin that the surveyor put down. As far as the one on this outer lot, I have no idea, because the surveyor come through when they surveyed across the street to put that house in. They put that pin down, and he shouldn't have to put a pin down. If he'd have been a real surveyor, he'd have been able to find the original surveying pin that was there already. So I don't know if that's in the right spot or not. I don't think it is. I don't think it's far enough off of the street myself. Because, you know, you have an easement from the street. So I think it's too close to the street. I think it probably should have went back further, but I might be wrong. I think it's a couple of feet off myself. And I've never measured from the original pin, like right out my door toward my mailbox. There's an original pin there. It's covered up. But I saw the surveyor that would come out later to find the pin. He uncovered it. So I know that was the original pin. It was not in anything that anybody put down there recently. But I'd have to go digging up the several feet of yard to try to find it, to locate it, to be able to measure from there to the back of my lot. But I know what they put on the back of my lot is wrong. I don't care if they claim to be surveyors. I don't care what they claim to be. I know Gonzalez said he measured 105 feet to the water line, and then he was going to take another 5 feet for his easement. And I said, you don't do that. I said, that's my easement. I said, I've got a 5-foot easement on one side of the water line. You have a 5-foot easement on the other side. And really, probably the best thing to do is to start at the water line and then go toward your lot and measure the distance that your lot is, probably. I don't know. And then, too, I don't know if that 5 foot is included in the measurement for your side of the lot. I don't know if it's your measurement, the 105 feet, and then it stops, and then the 5 feet for each property owner. I have no idea. But the way the plat map is that I have, it shows the water line going right down the center. It shows the broken lines on either side that is the easement. So I've got a 5-foot easement, and he does too. So if he tried to come over on my side, he's taking my easement, plain and simple. And that's what I go by. That's what the board of directors go by, is the plot map. And that was done by surveyors back years ago when this subdivision was first put in. And there has been, I've checked at the office out there, the county office, and I got another copy of the plot map, plat map. I don't know if I say that correctly. And it's identical to the map I've already got. There was no revisions, no changes. And they said usually there's never any changes from the original survey. If they do make changes, there's a whole lot of legal issues they have to undergo to do that. And they have to definitely notify the property owners of any changes. But usually they can't make changes to the lot sizes or anything else later. Once that original surveying plot is done, that is the law. That is basically set in stone. Your streets may move a couple of inches or so from one side to the other, and that's due to repaving and different things. Sometimes the pavers are wider, so they may add a few inches to the side of the street over the years, and that may multiply every time they repave the street. I don't know. I've heard of one street moving 10 feet because of that. Because every time they came in, they got over a couple of inches, until finally one guy had bought a lot where they'd moved over toward, and he couldn't find his property lines or anything. And they got the Department of the DOT involved and realized that the road was not where it was supposed to be. It moved over 10 feet. Therefore, it moved his property line back. It was crossing his property line, basically. So he never would have found his property line or the corners of his lot or anything else if he hadn't contacted the Department of Transportation. A new ransom note was produced yesterday. Savannah Guthrie is the morning host on NBC's Today Show. So that was that woman's daughter that they kidnapped. Well, that makes sense. She's a public figure. They figure she's got money. Why not kidnap her mother for ransom, right? Huh. I've never owned an iPad. I don't know anything about the iPads. She's on the Today Show. Well, I hope she gets her mom back. They find her and she's still well, and she's healthy. I hope it doesn't cause her to have a stroke or a heart attack or, there's no telling. I mean, a woman that age. But it's just sad that they would do that with an 85-year-old woman. I mean, it's sad anytime someone's kidnapped, but a really young child and an elderly person, that's the worst. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. It's really bad. It's the worst no matter who they kidnap. But it just goes to show you the people that did that type of thing, they're no kind of people at all. They're low lifes, in my opinion, that would stoop to something to do, that low to do. She has a pacemaker, so yeah, oh my goodness. That's terrible. I don't hold up much hope, but I've been sending prayers. Yeah, I mean, that's so sad. Depending on the treatment she's getting from these people or what they've told her, if she knows she's kidnapped and they're trying to get money out of her daughter, that poor lady's upset. She's stressed out. Or either they told her some harebrained story that something happened to her daughter and they're going to take her to her, or who knows? I mean, there is no telling what they could have told that 85-year-old lady. Her son-in-law is a suspect. Oh my goodness. You mean her daughter's husband is a suspect of her kidnapping? What's he trying to do? Get money out of his wife? She's supposed to be taking daily medication. Oh my gosh. I hope her daughter's still not living with her husband. They must be separated or something. You know, light sensor on top and maybe by the camera. Yeah, that's so sad. Not Savannah's husband, her sister's husband. Oh my gosh. Is her sister still living with her husband that's doing this? Oh my God. If that's the case, her sister could have something to do with it, you know? Her and her husband both might be have planned all this together to get money from her sister. And that would be even sadder to have a family member do that to you. Heard he has been cleared. Oh, okay. That sounds good. Well, when I guess they don't know who did it, everybody's a suspect. You know, they can't rule anybody out really until they can prove that they didn't have anything to do with it. You've wondered about the other daughter. Huh. That's terrible. Well, I hope the poor lady shows up unharmed and still well, you know. Because when you're that age, I don't care how healthy they can be, they still have problems. They still have health problems. They could be healthy for their age, but still have problems, health problems, you know. My iPad has more stuff than Android tablets do, Lynn. Well, that's what I've got. I mean, I have an Android. It's still on the news about the. So, hmm. Well, I'm going to have to do some research on it and bring up some of their interviews that they've had and see what's going on. But that's sad. I mean, people get, you know, and I'm not saying any of the family did it, but people in general today, people are so greedy. They would throw their own mother under the bus for $1, I think, sometimes, you know, depending on who these people are. I think they have no conscience. They think about themselves. Can't get that out of my mind. Kidnapping an 85-year-old woman for ransom. That's some desperate, lazy people. They don't want to work for their money. They'd rather take it from other people. The Eve, vegan menu. I tried to change it into a different name. It's the vegan menu. Hello, welcome to our chat. You're a little late. The prize has already been given away. Tamara Ameling won it, and she gave it to Donna Placedia. So I'm sending it to her. It'll be her Valentine's present. The ransom request is Bitcoins. Huh. Do they think that Bitcoins can't be traced? Is that what it is? Because if they put it in some Bitcoin's account, somebody's got to claim those Bitcoins later. And that could definitely be traced to somebody, I'm sure. That's just like a bank account, you can't hide your bank account. If you put money in it and then later you get it out, somebody can trace those transactions somehow. Oh, y'all are not going to believe this. First of all, I kept getting these video calls that I refused to answer. And then one, I decided to go ahead and answer it because I was tired of them calling me. And get this, they didn't actually show themselves. It was a picture. Get that? And they tried to tell me that I won $2.5 million from Publisher Clearinghouse. And I said, first off, how much is it going to cost me? Oh, it's not going to cost you nothing. But you got to do this, this, and this. And then they went through a whole list of things like prize winning number, transaction numbers, what was all of that stuff they told me? It was a whole list of things. But then they told me that I'd have to go to CVS pharmacy and buy one of those green cards, some kind of a green card. Well, the minute they got to that, I cussed them out, y'all. And I'm not going to say on my video what I said to them, but it was not nice. It was not pretty. I told them off and I used some ugly words. And I said, don't ever call me again. And I hung up because I told them the minute they told me to go get a green card, I knew it was a scam. Because that's how all these other scammers will do. They'll call you, say you won money, but you got to go get this card. And sometimes it's darn video cards they want you to purchase. So I just hung up on them. Yeah, I never entered the contest. How could I win? I mean, years ago, I would at least enter those contests. I haven't entered any of those contests in so many years, it's ridiculous. And here they tell me that I won $2.5 million. But I got to go get the green card to get registered to get my money, right? I said, you know who I was. You knew my phone number. You verified my mailing address. Why do I have to verify who I am by buying you a card? Yeah, I cussed them out and hung up on them. And I told them, don't ever call me back. And they even showed pictures of people winning the publishing clearinghouse, holding their checks, the big check in front of them and stuff like that. Well, anybody can come across those pictures and post it for, to make it look like you're these people. You don't think you've entered since Ed McMahon? McMahon or was alive? Yeah, it's been many years since I've entered the publishing clearinghouse. So I know they didn't wait 10 years and all of a sudden say I won. That's crazy. And then again, I think when they find out you're a senior citizen, they think you're gullible and that you'll believe anything they tell you and you'll pretty much do whatever they tell you to do. Well, they found out different when they called me. And so far, they've not tried calling back either. That was like I kept getting these emails saying that this person in Africa, this millionaire in Africa died and left me his money. But I had to somehow send I had to send them the processing fee, which was about $2,000 for them to send me my millions of dollars. Guess what? They didn't get no $1,000 out of me, because I knew that was a scam. I mean, if somebody dies and they leave you money, they leave you money. You don't have to pay to get that money. Publishing Clearinghouse is out of business. I wouldn't doubt that. They've had so many scammers using their name. Have you heard of the sensors that measure air pressure, Linda? Yeah, I think Discount Tire uses those, that because they've got something that they measure the air pressure in people's tires when they drive up. And I get so many messages sent to me, so many friend requests sent to me from Facebook, and it's all on this person that's in the Army, good looking guy, and he's well known, and all of these people are using his profile pictures and his name, running scams to get money out of people. And this man is already retired from the military. So I don't accept any friend requests from them. Crazy, 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 this world today. So none of you said what you had planned for the rest of the day or tomorrow. I guess a lot of you are going to be having Super Bowl parties if the Super Bowl is tomorrow. Okay, Joshua. Well, you can let us know when you do that. And there's Wilkes County boy. How's the weather in Texas? It is 76 degrees right now, Wilkes. It was 82 yesterday. It's like springtime here. I'm ready to get things growing. But we still, until March 12th, somewhere along in there, we still have a possibility of a freeze. Our last frost date is like mid-March. And I planted a garden one year. I had foot-high tomato plants, and we got snow in March. And I was out there, had to cover up my plants with buckets. But guess what? They survived. I uncovered them after the snow was gone, and they were fine. I didn't lose a one of them. But it was just like an overnight thing, Tamara's at 30 degrees and thankful. Yeah, 30 degrees is better than minus 30. It's been bad couple of weeks here. Yeah, I know y'all have been getting snow in North Carolina. My hometown right along the coast was getting snow and cold weather. And there's Ken. Hi, Ken. How are you doing today? One friend of mine that's about 20 miles away from my hometown, he said they were snowed in. And he's retired, so he said, I don't have to get out to do nothing, so I'm not going to. I said, there you go. Just let that ice melt. You don't have to go dig out your driveway or your path to walk from your porch to your truck. You ain't going nowhere. Just leave it. Let it melt. That's what I do. Too cold to get out there and shovel snow. You knew the storm was coming. You should be stocked in your kitchen and everything. You shouldn't have to go anywhere. Especially since he doesn't have to go to work or anything anymore. I know his brother lives right across the street from him, but he don't even have to go across the street unless he really wants to. He can stay home. That's what I do in bad weather. I just stay home. I don't get out. The only time I might get out is to try to build a snowman. But I couldn't even make a snowman this year. I mean, it was so cold. The snow was powder. You couldn't even pack it together and make a snowball. You opened your hand and it would just fall apart. And then a day or so later, it was warming up and there was so much ice in that snow that it was sludge, and you couldn't make a snowman with sludge. So I said, well, no snowman this year. How's things been going with you, Wilkes County boy? Tamara said, this week I'm planning on pressure cooking pork and beans. That sounds good. Like white dust. Exactly, Luke's County boy. It was just like white powder, white dust. And you're still kicking. Well, I'm glad to hear you're still kicking. You figured it out, Joshua? Good. I don't know what I want for dinner tonight. I don't know what my next cooking video is going to be. I have no idea. I've thought about several different things, but I don't know. Well, we've been on here for almost an hour and a half. I didn't think it'd been that long, but it's been an hour and 22 minutes, y'all. An hour and 23 minutes. I'd rather have powdery snow than the heavy, wet stuff. Too heavy to move for me. Yeah, that's right. And I think if it's powdery like that, you can drive better through it too. If it's slick and slippery and all that stuff, it's hard to drive through it. Well, used to you could retire early at 62, or you could wait and get full retirement at 65. Or if you don't want to retire when you can keep working right on. You don't really have to retire until you want to retire, basically. I mean, I retired and then I still work. Well, I say I work because I do YouTube videos. I say that's my job. You know, my job right now for the last 3 years is doing YouTube videos. Yeah, you can use a leaf blower if it's powdery. I've never had that much snow here. I don't have to worry about leaf blowing it anywhere or uncovering my driveway or my walkway. I mean, I've got a little bit on my steps before, but you know, I never really had to go outside for anything, so it really didn't bother me. And if I did, on the rare occasion, go out my front door, I didn't go very far. And I was always careful going down the step. Texas just doesn't usually get snow. That's the reason I was so surprised here a few years ago when we had that week-long snow and ice storm. Everything was covered in snow and ice for a solid week. That is very unusual for Texas. But it was a combination: snow, ice, hail, sleet. But it covered the whole everything, the trees, everything was covered in ice and snow. For a solid week, it didn't melt. But I survived through that week. I don't know, Joshua. Yeah, don't be careful. Don't slip and bust your butt. Yeah, that would hurt if your foot slipped going down the steps and you busted your butt on the concrete. That would not feel very good. But I've not done that on the snow or ice, so I have no idea, Joshua, why Apple decided to put one in your iPad. Who knows? Who knows why Apple decides to do anything? Yeah, Tamara doesn't know either. See clearly. Hello, welcome. You're in Midland, Texas. That's not too awfully far. I mean, it's a pretty good drive. It's not like I'm gonna go down the street and see you, but I don't think I've ever been to Midland. You used to live in Midland, Texas many years ago, moons ago. It's 4:28. It's 3:28 here or 3:29. You're on Eastern time. You're an hour ahead of me, Frida. You got the air pressure thing right. Well, I don't want to keep y'all on here all afternoon on your Saturday. I'm sure people have things to do, people to see, places to go, or whatever you do on your Saturday afternoon. Not now, a long time ago. Where do you live now, see clearly? Oh, you're in South Dakota? I bet it's cold there. How's it in South Dakota right now? Are you covered in snow? 2 hours until the UNC and Duke playoff. I might have to try to watch some of the Super Bowl tomorrow. Because I know I want to see the halftime show. A lot of times, if I miss the Super Bowl, I'll bring it up on YouTube and like the next day and search for the Super Bowl halftime show, and they show the whole thing. Well, like I said, I don't want to keep everybody all afternoon. I'm sure you got some things to do, other places to go, maybe even some other lives to get into, like mine, instead of spending all afternoon. No snow in South Dakota. Oh, well, maybe you're not far enough east to get covered. I think a lot of people up in that area to the north and east really got covered. It was 68 degrees. Well, pretty good. That's good. It was 82 here yesterday, and it's 76 here right now. And there's Mongoose Sister. Happy Saturday from Canada. Well, happy Saturday from Texas, Mongoose Sister. We welcome to have you. Yeah, it's like springtime weather here. I want to get out and start doing stuff, But I still can't overdo it. My back is getting so bad. I do a little bit and I ache all over. I go to take a step, my legs ache or my back aches, and it makes you not want to move, And I can't take painkillers all the time. That's not good. Love Texas. Well, sometimes Texas weather don't love me. I don't like it when it's 105 and 110 degrees, I'll tell you. And I don't like it when it's freezing cold either. Thank goodness Texas doesn't have a whole lot of freezing cold weather. That's not an arthritis person's friend, that's for sure. All right, well, like I said, I'm glad a lot of you people came in, even though you come in a little bit late. But we've been on here for an hour and a half. I don't want to keep people all afternoon. Mongoose says, I couldn't do that heat. I prefer the snow over heat. I don't know if I could handle all that cold weather. My oldest brother moved from New York City to Tucson, Arizona, because he couldn't handle the cold, the ice, and the snow anymore. He said, I get so tired of walking 2 blocks in the snow, knee deep, just to buy something to eat, to take it home to cook. All right, like I said, I'm going to let y'all go. I appreciate all of you coming in for my live today. You don't know how much I appreciate you spending the time with me. I love chatting with everybody. And I hope you have a blessed weekend. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. And we'll get together on the next one. I'm not sure when that'll be, but we'll be running another contest. And I don't know what the prize might be, so I can't tell you. So you just have to watch. I will be posting, the next contest when we have one. So if you got all your notifications turned on, you'll be notified of when the contest will be. So you'll have plenty of time to be watching videos. All right, y'all. Have a blessed day. We'll see you next time. Love y'all.